Paul, you've built a platform throughout the season. I suppose now it's about going through that door.
Just keep going. It's a repetitive message. There's 4 games to go. You know, there's a points tally now that's achievable to be promoted. You just keep going, stay focused on what you're doing and take each game as it comes. I know it's a boring cliche, you know, but until it's done, it's not done. And, you know, football's provided over the years so many consistent turn-ups, you know, things that have surprised and shocked people that, you know, you've just got to make sure you're focused on the next game, and that's Fleetwood for us.
And in terms of Tuesday night, I suppose you've had enough time to rest and recuperate from that, but did that match just show the character that's within the squad to keep going right to the last?
I think the important thing is when you play games, they always become defining games, but, you know, the reality of football is you play 46. You know, every game has an equal importance. It's just that the games in April seem to be a lot more important than games in November, when they're the same. You know, for us, the lads, you know, they've had an outstanding season, the boys now, it's coming to, you know, the final little stretch now, and, you know, you just got to stay with it and stay focused and, you know, do our best to get over that line.
I suppose it's the time of the season where the pressure comes, but this squad have shown no signs of crumbling to any pressure.
Football is what it is. You know, we're going to finish with a points tally now in the 90s, possibly even the 100s if everyone went extremely well. It's an amazing amount of points. So whatever the last 4 games brings, it brings. It could be 4 draws, it could be 2 wins, it could be 3. And you don't know. None of us know, because it can be such a turbulent sort of job forecasting football results. So, as I say, it's just stay focused. The big game tomorrow, you know, the lads we've had a little bit of not squad rotation, but lads have come in and out and done really well. The squad's played a massive part. Again, that'll be important tomorrow, because I think as our fans would appreciate, some of the lads have played a lot of games now. You know, 1 or 2 lads do look leggy, and we must try and get bits of rest into them as we can, albeit when tomorrow's game is by far the most important one we've had.
Yeah, you've had these fixtures Saturday, Tuesday for a long time now. How is the squad looking? Because you did make changes before the game on Tuesday.
Well, it's easy to say, you know, for us, for me, you know, adrenaline, emotion can carry you so far. Tomorrow we know if results went our way, we can be promoted. That'll carry you without a shadow of a doubt. But eventually there will be a kick back to that. You know, if you look at lads, whoever you want to look at, like Nathan Baird missed Tuesday night purely because his body was starting to fatigue. He wasn't injured, but the signs were that he's likely to be injured if we keep going. Nathan comes back into the squad dead fresh for tomorrow, and good. You'd like to do that with a lot of players: Dunkley, Dan Baird, Michael Jacobs, Sammy Morsey. You can name a lot of ours. You know, the likelihood is we'll be with the core of our players, which is what everyone knows, and we'll keep trying to just freshen little bits and pieces of the squad up.
You mentioned that fatigue and things like that, but with 4 games to go, you know it is a certain amount of points you need to get promoted. Is it a case of perhaps not trying to rush it and making sure that you continue to go through the process?
I think it's funny now, because for the last month or so, no one's new. All of a sudden now, the finishing line's in sight, and you know, if we were to achieve 4 points, we would be promoted. So for us to get 3 points at Fleetwood tomorrow wouldn't half help. So for us, we just focus on Fleetwood and nothing else. The lads have been great. We give a lot of the lads 2 days off this week after the game, purely to get rest into them. You know, today will be a very light day again today. The lads know how we want to play and everything else, the emotions that go with the game, and hopefully we can get a team on the pitch tomorrow that can play with a freshness that can see us win the game.
Over the last few years as a manager, you've had a great track record of getting promotions, getting in the playoff places. How proud have you been of this squad and what they've been able to achieve?
I'll only really speak about that when we've done something. Do you know, at the minute we're in the playoffs, aren't we? That's the two. So there's always a sense of achievement for being in the playoffs. The bigger picture is to be promoted and then possibly to win the league. And I think at the correct time to speak about them things, if they come to fruition, we will. And we'll praise everyone that deserves praising. But at the minute, there's still a little way to go.
And as for Fleetwood, what have you made for them this season? Because they were looking to try and get towards the playoff places, they've then fallen away, now sort of consolidating in mid-table, I suppose.
It's been quite a big week at Fleetwood, hasn't it, with the announcement that Joey Barton's going in as manager on the 1st or the 2nd of June. I think they brought John Sheridan in with an immediate effect to try and stay up. I think he's done a lot more than that, hasn't he? I think John's had an outstanding time at Fleetwood as a manager. I think it's not done wonders for John's CV, because it hasn't. John's a good manager, you know, but it's just reinforced the fact of John's qualities as a manager. So Fleetwood are lucky. You know, John's gone in. They've achieved the status of wanting to stay up very, very comfortably. They're on a fantastic run at the minute. I think they've only lost once under John. You know, so it will be a difficult game for us tomorrow. They've got good players, you know, like most teams in the division. They've got threats, you know, within the team. So it's important we just focus on us. You know, obviously we acknowledge what Fleetwood can do, you know, but it'll be about us tomorrow, that's for sure.
What do you make of that announcement, Joey Button going in there? I suppose a great opportunity for a young manager to cut his teeth.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. And I think it's hard to comment on these things when John's the manager and Joey's coming in and stuff like that. So, probably, it's probably better for other people to speak. But certainly for Joey and people who have been pundits, I think it's great to see them actually coming in and getting involved in football, and they'll certainly see a different side to the game from the one that they've seen previously, where you're sitting up in a stand with a great view and everything's quite comfortable, and to be on the touchline now and again. Good luck, Joey, when he comes in, and certainly I wish John well because he's a good friend of mine as well.
And just on the opportunity to perhaps achieve promotion, 2 years ago I'm a file coach down the road at Blackpool. Great day for the fans, and they're in numbers as well tomorrow.
Fans have been terrific all season. The travelling support's been outstanding at all the games. We've had big support. Even the other night at Rochdale, we were absolutely brilliant right through the 90 minutes, and the players need that. So tomorrow we go there in the hope that we can be promoted, but the knowledge that we might have to keep going and keep focused, and that's what we'll do. We've got a very, very professional group of players that have worked so hard all year. Tomorrow is just the next part of our journey for the season. We'll embrace the challenge tomorrow, and then we look forward to Bristol Rovers on Tuesday.